Okay. Hello, I'm Courtney Alex, and welcome to another QiGong video for SF Yoga Magazine. And this one is for emotional release. And so I'm sitting between these two beautiful channels of water on this waterfall in Thailand, because water is really nice energy for helping us to process emotion. And I'm going to do this video sitting down because sometimes when we feel really emotional, our body wants to contract and protect. And sometimes it can feel difficult to want to stand up and move. But with this practice, we're going to release a little bit of it so that maybe with time, you're going to want to open up and stand up, and you can shake out with this or do a bigger body movement. QiGong works with physical movement, breath or sound, and visualization in order to knit together the energies of the physical body, emotional body, and mental spiritual body for optimal health and wellness. It's kind of like giving ourselves acupuncture, like why wouldn't we do it? So for this practice, we're going to work with all the 5 elements in the QiGong or Taoist tradition. And each one of the 5 elements is related to a different physical organ system in the body, also like a spiritual organ system in the body. So every organ system is related to physical organs, as well as emotions, as well as certain types of thoughts and mental frequencies. But today we're going to focus on emotion. So we're going to use sound. The first one we're going to do is related to the lungs, and it's also related to the autumn season. So it's all about letting go. And the emotion associated with it is sadness or grief, which sometimes we don't even realize that we're holding. But on the other side of sadness and grief is courage. And what we want to do with emotions is we want to allow them just to move freely so that we can feel both the shadow emotions and the light emotions. So sometimes it's important to feel sadness because then we know what makes us feel courageous, right? Or it can be important to feel jealousy because then we know what drives our passion, right? But what we want to do is get our emotions flowing throughout the emotional body so they don't get stuck. So that we can feel the full breadth of the emotions, and so that they can just sort of move through us, almost like clouds passing in the sky. So we're going to start with the releasing sadness, releasing grief, and we're going to make the sound Ssss as we visualize gray energy releasing down into the earth, and we're just going to shake our body. And you can shake the arms, the lung channels run along the arms, or you can stand up and you can shake the whole body, but I'm going to do this sitting down. And so we're just going to you don't even have to know what you're releasing. It doesn't matter. And that's why I love QiGong, because you can release sadness and you don't even have to have a story associated with it. You don't even have to know that you're sad just to release it. I do this every morning. I release all my emotions, and I do this every night. And it makes me feel a lot more free in my body and with my emotional health every day. So visualizing gray energy going down into the earth, maybe falling off your fingertips. Using breath and sound to release. And then we're just going to inhale and just imagine or think of a time when you felt really courageous. Honoring the lungs, bringing in a bright white light as if our palms could radiate a bright white light into our lungs. Lungs are associated with grief and sadness or courage. So just imagining a time when we felt really courageous, honoring the energy of the lungs. And then next we're going to move to the winter element, the water element, associated with kidneys. And we're going to release fear. And when we release fear, we feel a lot more vital. And we gain wisdom. And so we're going to use the sound Chhhh, like water. And we're just going to release. Again, visualizing that gray energy, just shaking. And maybe your body is just intuitively shaking differently this time because it knows where it's holding fear. Just shaking it out. Shaking out the stagnant energy that we no longer need to hold on to. And then you can imagine a blue light Put your hands over the kidneys. Inhale, and just imagine a time when you felt really vital, really wise, honoring the energy of the kidneys. And then the next one we're going to do is the liver. And the liver is associated with anger or frustration. And anger can be both healthy or unhealthy. Anger can be unhealthy when we don't allow ourselves to express it and we contract around it. But it can be healthy when it makes us realize where our boundaries are. What makes us angry is usually like, no, you know, this makes me angry, I will not engage in this, or this makes me angry and I want to change it, so it's going to fuel my passions, right? So we want to release, a lot of us have stagnant anger because we haven't allowed ourselves to feel angry, and we want to release that from the field. So we're going to make the sound shh, like shh, you're in the library. So we're going to go shh, and just shake it out. Shake out any stagnant anger. Shh, visualizing that gray energy going out into the earth. You can imagine it coming out your eyes, coming out your fingertips, coming out your, I don't know, your armpits, your shoulders, coming out your toes. You can shake the knees if you're standing up, shake the shoulders, shh, releasing any stagnant anger and frustration. And then we're going to put the hands over the liver on the lower right side. Imagine this bright green light emanating from your palms. And imagine a time when you actually felt angry, but it like propelled like a passion project forward. Honoring the energy of the liver. And then we're going to move on to the heart. And we're going to release heartbreak and jealousy and any blocks to feeling connected and compassionate towards others. And we're going to use the sound ha. And so again, just shaking out any gray stagnant energy. Again, the lines of the heart run down the arms, so you might want to really shake out the arms, shake out the head. Ha, releasing heartbreak. Doesn't have to be heartbreak over a relationship, could be heartbreak over something you once saw 15 years ago that upset you, that you don't even know you're holding on to, and it doesn't actually matter. Just release it. Visualizing that gray energy going down into the earth, composting and transforming it. And then we're going to imagine this like bright red or fuchsia pink light over our hearts. And easy, just imagine a time when you felt really passionate about something and in love, just with a person, with life, with a puppy, really connected to all that is, honoring the energy of the heart. And then the last one we're going to do, we're going to work our center. So this is the energy of the spleen stomach. It's our center. It is the element of the earth. And when we are not connected with this center, we feel actually out of balance, out of alignment with ourselves, maybe anxious, stressed, worried about the future. This is a big one for a lot of us. So we're just going to shake it out with the sound of ho, ho, you know, almost like you've been punched in the gut. Like you can even do that. You can make little blades into your spleen and just release that energy of anxiety and worry so that we can feel centered and totally aligned and trusting of ourselves, of our boundaries, of what we need in this world. So you can shake and release that gray energy with you can do that for a while if you're feeling out of center, off balance. And to keep this video short, we're just going to imagine yellow bright light emanating out of our palms on the lower left side, pointed towards the spleen. And we're going to inhale. Imagine a time when we felt really self-trusting and totally aligned with our truth, honoring our center. And it's really nice to do all 5 of these so that you can really come into balance. I do this every day when I'm drying my hands to put in my contacts. You know, wash my hands, dry them not with a towel, but just by shaking out. I literally do this for 2 minutes and it completely changes my day. So that my emotional experience just kind of like comes in waves. And yeah, so thank you so much for being here with me today. And let's again just put our hands over the lower dantian, honoring our own center, honoring who we are as beings, honoring our inner master, seeing our glowing ball of light there. And thank you so much for being with me here today.